Sonya and Sasha. For
We are
real.
so lucky and so blessed to have this these incredible bunch of inspiring kick butt women, and this woman is just, she's one of the best in the business, and she's got something that's really different.
Yeah,
Amazing woman
absolutely. I love this.
has created an entire company to make us laugh. And you know what? We love that stuff, Sash, because we
Yes.
laugh all the time. We laugh every day. We find laughter in everything. And we need the beat button for Loz, because she comes up with this fantastic stuff which says
Yeah.
naughty words.
Very, very naughty words. Like the king of nerdy words. She will use those words all the time. And that's why we think it's funny, because deep down inside, we think exactly like her. So we
Absolutely, we do.
absolutely
Not deep down inside,
love
right at the surface,
Right
right
at
here,
the
right here. It's just about to come out of
surface.
our mouths.
We have Laurie, who is the CEO of the Inappropriate Gift Company. Woo!
Welcome,
Hey,
Loz.
Laurie.
Hi, girls.
We love it because on the screen we film all of our shows every week. On the screen, your name is Laurie the Legend. Loz the Legend. That's we love it. What's going on? You just told us that you're living life in New South Wales. You're actually going out to cafes and drinking coffees and having haircuts. We're very jelly.
We are so lucky. We are so lucky. Everything's open. We still have to be social distancing, but you can get takeaways, go swimming. Yeah, we're very lucky, and I feel so sorry for anyone down there in Melbourne. You girls have got it hard.
Actually, do you really feel sorry for us? Like, are you actually thinking?
Well, not you
about
two,
it?
no.
Oh, no, you don't. Because I've actually been wondering, like, is the rest of the country really actually thinking about us and really feeling sorry for us, or are
No,
they
we
just kind
actually
of going?
don't care. We
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, that's right.
That's right.
And I love it, the fact that you actually can get to say the truth with us. Now, do you know what this is? How we've actually found you is one of those, again, miracle things that Sonya and I have this in common thing together. So I don't know how, but I started following you a couple of years ago. So when you were first at the start of your business, Sonya was also following you as well. And then one day, I remember we were in the car and one of us both went, I need to tell you something, and I need to tell you this. And she said, I've been following this company called the Inappropriate Gift Company. And so she says, so have I. And that we actually found you by ourselves individually and then came together and both went on the same time. We need to make friends with this chick, because this chick is a legend. Like it's almost like you're speaking our language. You're talking to us.
So tell us about Inappropriate Gift Company. How did it start? What's it all about for those listeners?
Well, before the Inappropriate Gift Company, I was an HR manager. So I spent 25 years.
I can't imagine it, Loz. I can't imagine you in HR, because you are the least HR-ish person, I think, in the world.
Yeah, they did say I was the most inappropriate HR manager they had ever met.
Is that where you got the name from?
And I'm surprised I lasted so long, to be honest. But working in HR, I just came back, and everything I wanted to say out loud but couldn't, I would put either in a meme or a meme, or, I just had all these ideas. So it actually started from a social page. So I just made up my own memes and things first. And then I started to have some have some laughs with products. And I needed a gift for my brother in the UK, who's probably got the same sarcastic sense of humor as me. And I couldn't find anything online.
Yeah.
So I decided to make something. And at that stage, he was going through a particularly bad time at work. And so I just sent him a mug and a mouse pad that said, I really love my job. Right. And from there on, all these ideas. So I'd go to work during the day. And, maybe mediate between, Karen in accounts and Sheila, in marketing. And then I would come home and that's where the inspiration came from. And one of my mugs, so I just set up a Facebook store and a really basic website, and I'm not tech guru at all. And one of my mugs went viral, and it hit something like 15 million views.
Oh, wow.
Can you tell us what it had on it, like without swearing? Can you tell?
Sure. So it said, I'm not feeling very talky today.
Oh,
and then, the next line was off you, and there was a swear word.
Yeah.
And so I'm still going to work without telling them that on the side I'm running this business. And meanwhile, I have got all these orders coming in for this particular mug, to the point where I actually couldn't fulfill all the orders. So I had to actually shut my website down because I couldn't actually fulfill all the orders that was coming in. And
Wow.
That's
from that
incredible.
from that moment on, I suddenly realized that, hey, this is doesn't have to be just a hobby. I can actually make this work. So I then put some real effort into it and created a proper website and set up the business. And yeah, it's just gone from strength to strength. There's so many people out there that share my warped sense of humor. Who knew?
You know what? We all do. And those people who say that they don't are lying. Do you know what, Loz, that mug that you, the very first one that you made, my
Yeah.
little 7-year-old proudly gets up onto the cupboard and pulls that mug out all the time and gets himself a hot chocolate and walks around with it, just shoves it in our faces. I'm not feeling very talky today, off you. And that's my 7-year-old. So that's what's happening in our house. Going well. I love it.
Well,
He loves it.
My
My kids
son's
are
actually
so
walking
embarrassed.
around with a little book that says ideas or names of people I want to stab, and that's his drawing book right now. So do you know what I mean?
We're full supporters in
We're
these
full
two households
supporters,
here, Loz.
absolutely.
You should see my new colouring book. That's what they need to get hold of.
Oh.
That worries me. That worries me, right?
It should. It should.
I think it takes doodling to a whole nother level or something like that, really. Anyway.
Good job, Sarge. Good job. So you were on Shark Tank. Tell us
I
about that,
was.
Loz.
Yeah. So exciting. So I actually went on, or I applied just as a laugh. I didn't actually think I'd get on. I just thought it would be funny just to even put the business proposal forward.
Yes.
And I had to go through a couple of auditions, and I finally got on there in front of the sharks. And I must say, they're all lovely people. It was a bit nerve-wracking because normally I go bright red and get hives when I have to do any public speaking. And
Yeah.
and that you literally just go there and you've got to say your piece. There's no editing. You've just got to go, and it takes about an hour. And they do question you. Luckily,
Wow.
I'd done my research, and
Yeah.
they loved the products. They couldn't film most of them because a lot of them. It's a family show, but I got offers from all 5 of them actually, which was
Oh,
amazing. And I ended up wanting to go with Naomi
of
because she's
course.
in the gift
Yes.
business,
Yes.
and that was a no-brainer for me. So after the show, we met, and I was lucky enough to work with Naomi for a year in her offices as part of the
Wow.
PRG group that she has. So she mentored me. She allowed me, insights into how they do business, and it was such a valuable experience. I loved it, absolutely loved it.
So that means that you quit your HR job and you went full on into inappropriate gifts.
I did, yeah, I did. I said goodbye to HR, and they were fully supportive. They said, look, this is a fantastic idea, you go for it. And that was quite it wasn't a difficult decision, but once you've made that switch to inappropriate gifts, it's going to be very hard if that failed to ever go back into HR, because obviously, well, for obvious reasons. So I had to be completely sure. But then, as we said before, what's the worst that can happen? If it doesn't work out, you go back into the corporate world. You haven't lost anything. So yes, I now work full time as the CEO, the Chief Expletive Officer of the Inappropriate Gift
We
Group.
love that.
Now, I need to ask you, how do you even come up with your material?
I've got a strange sense of humour, I think, like you girls have. And it comes very easily.
Definitely.
It comes very easily. But what I am lucky is I have a number of Facebook groups, and a lot of it comes from either conversations, because my target market is me. So I'm part of the target market, between the ages of 40 and 60 females that are mothers and that have an inappropriate sense of humour. So if you spend your time talking to those kinds of people, we get all sorts of material. So I've got a Facebook group called Inappropriate Mums. We've got the Inappropriate Gift Co. I get so much material from my friends and social media, but most of it comes from my brain. I'm just a bit weird. I'm a bit.
No, but do you know what I love?
that.
I love because you give everybody the space to be able to say what they're actually thinking. I mean, especially as mums, like, I mean, it goes without saying that you adore your kids and you'd put everything, on the line for your kids. But there are absolutely days when you cannot stand it and you hate every moment of it. And you've really given us a space to say it's okay to feel like this and feel like this about the people in your life, especially in this lockdown. And I don't have to make almost an excuse for going, hey, I just want to tell you, I love my kids, but right now they're annoying me, or right now all of these things. So it's, you give us that space to be free.
And I think that's part of one of the reasons the Inappropriate Mums group is quite popular is, when you have a Facebook account, there's stuff that you see that make you laugh. You think, oh, I can't share that because the mums at school will see it, or
all the time.
Or my mother-in-law will see it, or the mums at school will think that, I'm not a great mum or whatever. But you actually then share it with your little posse, via instant messenger or something, saying, I know you'll laugh at this, but I can't post it. So that really is what needs to come out, people just realizing that humor is sometimes the only way and the best way to deal with things, like, as you may know, last year was a dodgy year for me. I had health problems. I got cancer. I had to go through chemo. The only thing that got me through it was humor and other people that shared the same sense of humor as me. And sometimes we forget just how important humor is in just dealing with life in general.
Absolutely.
Well, Sonia and I don't forget, because that is the one way that we survive on a daily basis. We laugh, and if we're not laughing with each other, we're making sure that we're watching something funny, we're following funny memes, we're we're watching comedy stuff, and when we always say there are no limits to what you can laugh at. Like, you don't have to ever come back and say, sorry, did I go too far? Like, a couple of times we'll go, did I go too far? You're like, you can never go too far. Like, there's nothing off limits on what it is that you can laugh at, because that's actually another way of having therapy. So there's almost like, well, there's nothing, people go, oh, well, there's nothing off limits of what you can be angry about, but that's socially acceptable. But what are you saying, that it's not sociably acceptable for me to be able to laugh at that? I need to, for my own mental health, really.
Yes. Yeah.
And even if it's just with us, that's okay. It doesn't have to be with, because there's some people who don't get it, but then it's so freeing when you hang out with people who you can just laugh at everything with. And it's so, Laurie, how are you feeling? Are you okay? Tell us about your health now. Because
all good. So the last year it was difficult. But so I found a lump, I got it tested, it was malignant, I had chemo, radiation, surgery. A year is up and all that treatment's finished and I feel fantastic.
Yay!
That's so good. That is beautiful.
And it just gave me almost a kick up the bum that I needed to really realise what's important in life. And just as importantly, what's not important. And it's a shame that it took that for me. But really, it's the same for all of us, at the end of the day. And I think this lockdown tells us this as well, that really what's important is our loved ones and having a laugh and just really, not sweating the small stuff, because we're not getting out of this life. We've only got one life, so we might as well enjoy the hell out of it.
See,
so
Sonia,
true.
I think she's talking to us really like that. That's been like a therapy session in itself. I need to ask you, Laurie, how do you deal with people that get offended by some of the stuff that you put out there?
It used to bother me. I used to think there were a few comments, especially on social media, especially with some of my products, saying, oh, I can't be a good mum, and that used to get to me. And there's trolls as well. But someone said to me that the more successful you are, the more criticism you're going to get. So think about that and think about the more criticism you get, that just means you're successful. So now I think to myself, not everyone's going to get it. And I don't actually want everyone to get it, because that means that I'm not really playing to my niche. If you try and please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody. So as long as the people that I love and my target market and my little posse love what I do, it doesn't bother me anymore. It doesn't bother me anymore.
I love that you are staying absolutely true to yourself. You are an absolute gem. Thank you so much for making us laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. I love your energy. And it just gets dirtier and dirtier as it comes. And I just love that. Bring it on.
That's where we can find we find you, Loz.
So at the inappropriategiftcode.com is all my products. But don't go online if you are offended by swear words. because there'll be a few on there. And please, you can join my socials at Inappropriate Gift for Instagram and Facebook, the Inappropriate Gift Code.
You epitomise a powerful woman, a woman who's kicked cancer in the butt and said, see you later, and, who's just living their life in the best possible way with lots of laughter. And we love you, Loz. So please go and check out all of her beautiful products and get into the posse, because it's a good place to be. We love being in your posse.
We love that. Thank you for being our friend, because we've loved our relationship with you. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, it's quite difficult being your friend,
but we love it.
Someone's got to do it.
We love
love
it.
you
We
too,
love you,
girls.
Loz.
Thank
We
you.
love you. Bye.
Sonya and Sasha, for real.